Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we'll be taking a look at something a little bit new from Sahara Gaming. This is the Pirate Eye RGB fans. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so in today's video we'll be taking a look at Sahara Gaming's new Pirate Eye fans. This is actually a rather unique setup. So we've got if you've seen videos about the Lian Li fans recently, these are a very similar design, although this is patented, so it is unique to Sahara Gaming. So I should point out straight away, these have actually been sent to us free of charge for review purposes, so do take that into consideration. But my thoughts are entirely my own, and Sahara Gaming won't see this video before it's released, so hi Sahara Gaming, hope you like it. So this is a new fan from Sahara Gaming, as we said. So this is a 120mm LED RGB fan with a few tricks up its sleeve to make installation a lot easier, and also they've upgraded their fans tremendously. Now some of you may have seen previous videos, which we'll probably link up here, for some of the older Sahara Pirate fans, which were very good, but they were cost-effective options. This is taking things up considerably into the next price category and also the next quality category. These are rock solid fans. They're actually very heavy, very well built, and they look amazing. So we'll go through, do a quick unboxing, show you the features, etc., talk about the pros, the cons, then we'll take a look at what they actually look like, and then we'll come back with my final thoughts at the end. There will actually be a follow-up video to this where we will be transferring these over onto the EX360 from Sahara, which is in my AIO at the back there. So we're going to swap over these and see what the improvement is like. These have actually got a tremendous static pressure on them, so I'm hoping they're going to be an improvement, although saying that, the EX360 fans are bloody excellent anyway, so probably won't make a great deal of difference, but certainly it will look completely different. So take a look at the packaging. As you can see, Sahara Gaming does say there quite categorically, this product must be used with the Pirate controller fan hub. Now that is quite a warning. If you're buying these as a standalone, as an individual fan, then you will need the Sahara hub. Although they have included, or at least as an option, this, which is the Sync PCB card. So this will allow you to use any 5V addressable 3-pin setup and a standard PWM connection, whereas the fans themselves come with the Sahara's 6-pin connection as standard. So do bear that in mind. So if you're planning to use a whole bunch of these, you will need at least one of these to actually control it from your motherboard. If you're using the Sahara fan hub, then you can just use these as they are and plug them straight in and you're off to the races. So as you can see, it is the Pirate Eye, and the packaging actually looks pretty damn good. 12cm RGB fan, 55 color settings, although that is relating to the hub itself, obviously depending on your motherboard. So whether you're using Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, ASRock, etc., etc., you'll be limited to what RGB patterns are available from your header itself in the software. But if you use it with the Sahara hub, then there's 55 color options. Moving on to the back of the box, it gives you some of the specifications, and actually it does seem to be pretty decent specs. Dimensions, obviously, because it's a 120mm fan, we're looking at 120 by 120 by 25. Addressable RGB, the fan speeds anywhere between 600 to 1500 RPM, which is fully PWM controllable. Airflow is 55 CFM max. Air pressure is 2.19 mmHTO max. The kind of longevity, or the MFFT, is 160,000 hours, so yeah, should last you until the end of lockdown. And noise level is between 8 and 27 dBA. The bearing is a fluid dynamic bearing, and the connector is a 6-pin PWM, as we said, the standard one that comes with it. Again, you can use the adapter should you wish to. It's got the currents on there, etc., so I'll let you take a look at those. Yeah, essentially that is the specs. They actually, on paper, do seem to be particularly good, and let's see what they actually look like when they're out of the box. So opening up the packaging, this is what you'll be presented with. So we've got the fan itself, we've got a set of screws, and also the slide-on bracket, which is used for connecting into the Sahara hub. I'll show you more about that in a minute. Also included is an instruction leaflet, instruction paper, and it basically just shows you how to push on the connectors. It's very, very straightforward, very simple. In fact, they probably didn't even need to put that inside the packaging. It's literally a push-on connector. So we'll take a look at that next. So apart from these fans having a rather unique look to them, obviously the Pirate Eye, which is pretty cool itself. So they've got RGB around the outside edges, and also you've got RGB on the blades themselves, so opaque RGB. Up to 32 addressable RGB LEDs in this, which is yeah, pretty insane. So it gives off a load of light, and it is actually pretty much the same on the back, although the diffusers on the back are a little bit smaller. We've also got the blades showing through, etc. Also of note are the actually very thick rubber pads. So you've got 4 pads each side. So that is going to be great for noise dampening. We'll see what that's like a little bit later on or in the follow-up video. In terms of connectivity, this is where it gets really clever. So basically you've got 6 pins on this side which are protruding, and on the opposite side you've got the actual matching set. So the theory is you get your fans and slot them all together. So you can have up to, I believe it's about 6 fans per header. I wouldn't really want to go too much above that. Potentially you could go a little bit higher. Do check with your motherboard manufacturer's manual and also the hub as well to see what it'll take. You can normally tell when you're using too many because it'll basically just get quite dim because the voltage isn't high enough. But realistically, I think most people, if you're blocking these together, there isn't many cases which will take more than probably 3 of these in a strip, so that's going to be absolutely fine. So again, you've got things like 360mm AIOs, like the one behind me. Most cases, again, 3 fans, easy. 4 fans, don't really see that very often these days, but certainly if you want to, you could do very easily. So looking at the actual connection block, so this is actually very good. It's a very slimline design as well, so it's not going to take up much additional space. So if you are using this on a 360mm AIO and your case is a little bit tight anyway, then this is only going to add probably about another 5mm to the actual size of the AIO and the fan, so that's going to be fine. And it does terminate in that 6-pin connection, as we said earlier, so that's going to go straight into your Sahara gaming hub. Obviously, if you don't want to use that, then what you can do is you can use your sync adapter card. And then what this will do is you've still got the same connections on there, so you've got your brass connections or copper, whatever they are on there, and then that translates through 2 separate wires. So you've got one which is your 4-pin PWM, which is standard, and then you've got your 3-pin 5-volt addressable RGB, and also, which is quite nice that they've added on, is actually a pass-through as well. So if you've got one of those motherboards where maybe you've only got one header, then you can just plug that into the board, and then you've still got a pass-through, which has got a nice little rubber cap on there, so you can connect up more RGB stuff should you wish to. So absolutely awesome. So all you need to do is with these, there is an arrow pointing down, and if you look on the fan itself, there is also a marking which is on there pointing downward. So all you do is match up the arrows, push that on the side, and then push it down same way as the arrows, and that's it. You're done. That is locked into position, ready to go. So if you just want to use one fan on its own, then no problem. Go ahead, plug this into a CPU or fan header on your motherboard and the addressable RGB. But where it starts to get fun is where you add lots of these together. So let's go ahead and try that now. Okay, so now we've got our 3 fans, and obviously in each box you get the individual Sahara Gaming type adapter, which in this particular instance we won't be using because we're going to use the PCB adapter. So we've got our single fan already, and if we look on the side, we've got those pins there, and on the other fans, obviously we've seen that already. So what we do is get the fans lined up, and again, looking out for the markings on there. This is actually quite difficult to do on camera. So they line up like that, and then squash them together, and that is it. You've now got both your fans connected through the one set of cables. And again, obviously, if you want to go the whole hog and add another one in, literally just line them up, click it together, and there you go. So again, if you've got a 420mm or whatever the next size up from 360, then you can go ahead and 480, I guess that'll be. If you've got a 480mm radiator, then you could use 4 leads in conjunction and just use the one cable. I really like this. I think it's a really nice design. It does minimize wiring massively. That is one thing that most of us, if you're out there and you're into your RGB and you like your lighting, probably if you open up the back of your PC case, there's going to be a ton of wires. Whereas with this, you've literally got 2 wires again. If you are having 3 fans up front in the front of your case, such as that, then obviously if you want another one in the rear or a couple in the roof, you will need another one of these PCB adapters to be able to do that. So there isn't like a fly lead. That's one thing I would have liked to have seen actually, another one of these little adapters, maybe a couple of quid or something, just so you could then connect one up onto the bottom one and then run a cable to maybe a single fan in the rear to keep costs down. That would be excellent. Sadly, they've not done that as of yet. Maybe that's something that they could look into. Possibly if we put enough pressure on them, they might do that. But I think this is a really great setup. It makes life a lot easier. The one thing that is possibly going to go slightly against it is price. Now, we should talk about price because we haven't discussed that as of yet. I did say earlier that these are an extremely premium fan, and as you can see already, they really are. And they're actually very heavy, very good construction, fluid bearings, etc, etc. that always comes with a cost, and because of that, these are almost double the price of Sahara's normal fans. So for these individual ones, either in black or white, you can get them in both colours. I'll show you some cutaways of these so you can see that. So if you've got a white build, then you can get white versions of these. You're looking at about £20 per fan, which is a little bit on the high side for some people. Now, flexibility wise and for keeping your cable management down to an extreme minimum, I think it's probably worth the money. But certainly they aren't the cheapest fans in the world, but you do get quality and flexibility with that. Another thing is the PCB card. That is going to cost you about £10. There is a deal on at the moment, so if you do buy these from Sahara Gaming's website, you will actually get free postage. So if you buy the 3 fans together and one of the PCB cards, then essentially it's going to cost you just the retail price. They won't charge you any postage. How long that's going to last for, not entirely sure. I'll put some links in the video description below so you can check it out and see what the deal is at the moment. There may be other deals that go on. Sahara are actually pretty good for that. They do offer some pretty good deals, so do check that out. Again, depending on what region you're in, there may be a slight postage price as they are essentially based in the United Kingdom. Anyway, that's enough about the pricing. Let's take a look and see what they actually look like and see if they're worth the money. So there we go. They are powered up. Now literally all I've got here is a off-brand hub there. I'm not using the Sahara one because, well, it's in the back of the PC and there's no way I'm fishing all that out at the moment. But just to prove how universal it is, that is just a generic hub with a 5V 3-pin addressable RGB output and a PWM hub. So at the moment these are spinning at, I would say, probably about 800 to 900 RPM, and they are pretty quiet. I've got to be honest with you, they are quiet, and they're moving an absolute ton of air. When I was testing these a little bit earlier, Kath was sat way over on her computer desk and I had them facing towards that direction, and she actually said she could feel the draft from over there. So these are static fans. They are also optimized as well for a kind of a directional airflow. So when you're kind of off axis, you feel virtually nothing. And it's not until you get about there that it's actually starting to feel it. So they are concentrated airflow fans, which is always a good thing. Quite often we get these fans, especially some of the cheaper Chinese ones, which are a little bit icky, but you kind of put your hand behind them and even off center you can just feel air, and it's not really concentrated in any particular area. With a static pressure fan, that is part of why it is a static pressure fan, because you've got the air actually forced into one particular place, ideally into a CPU cooler, or exhausting out of a case, or pulling in from a case, or pushing air through an AIO. So yeah, these are, well, actually, I think it's gonna, yeah, there you go. It's knocked over the box. So there's a decent amount of airflow, even though they're on the low setting. But let's look at the lighting. I really like the lighting on this. So as you can probably see already, when you connect up an additional unit, the RGB effect just carries on, which is a really nice effect. And generally for that sort of effect, you'd normally have to pay quite a lot of money for maybe one of those Corsair setups where it all goes through. And again, then you're locked into that Corsair ecosystem. So you may have your nice fans, but then you've got to have your IQ software, etc., etc. With this, no software. Just use whatever's on your motherboard, or just use like a remote control on a cheaper hub, that sort of thing, and you're good to go. And they actually look really good either side. So if I flip them around, you can see on the back side there, really nice effect on there, even on the back, which most people probably will never even look at. Normally you just look at the front of the PC case. This, I think, would work best with one of those kind of finer mesh looking PC cases, something like the, actually the Sahara C500 or C501, I think it was, with the glass front. That would look absolutely stunning in this. So if you're into your Sahara gaming stuff, then definitely worth taking a look at. So I'll put some B-roll up now, going through the various colours so you can see what they're like, and I won't chat all over it, so you can just enjoy it with a little bit of music, and then we'll come back after. So there you go, you've seen what some of the colour samples are like and some of the chase effects, etc. I've got to be honest with you, I am very smitten with these. They do look amazing, and it's relatively straightforward to take them apart. Now I like the fact with this, I have tried this already, they're not extremely easy to come apart. So when you're actually in your case, you're not going to be concerned about them falling apart or anything like that. They are actually quite difficult to get away, so there we go. So they are kind of hot swappable as well. So if you've only got a 240mm AIO and you want to stick these on and make your AIO look absolutely stunning, and try not to get your fingers, then these are going to be absolutely great. You could use them as some kind of fashionable brassiere. Probably not recommended. Sahara probably won't honour the warranty on that, but certainly you could do if you wanted to. Or again, if you want to, you could just take off another one and then maybe attach that to a CPU cooler to give it a kind of all-seeing eye kind of look. So anyway, I'm being silly now, so we should probably wrap this up. Essentially, I think these are really good. For the price, I've got to be honest with you, you know me, I'm a bit of a cheapskate, so I would love to see these a little bit cheaper. Come on, Sahara, do us all a favour. Reduce the price just a little bit. £15 a fan, and I think you've got a winner on your hands, I really do. Or maybe include the PCB card with each fan, just to give the option of doing both. I think that would probably swing it for me. I would love to be able to deck out an entire PC with these, 3 at the front, 2 at the top, 1 at the back, and it not cost me an absolute fortune. But you pay for what you get, so decent quality fans are always going to cost you a little bit of money. Let me know what you think about these one in the comments section below. Would you pay £20 for one of these fans? Simple question, would you? Sahara Gaming will be reading the comments in the video description below, so please go for it. Let us know what you think, and if you've got any suggestions or anything you would like to say to them, then do let them know in the comments. So that's going to wrap this one up. These have been the Sahara Pirate Eye fans. I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.